Now, you might be a creative who's just started out in business, or you might be a creative that has been creating for years but just doesn't know how to monetize and start actioning and start earning money from something that you love doing. Now, I just want to preface by saying that I initially thought that creativity without business was a waste of your time, and that's something that Pharrell Williams had said, and I lived by that for a little bit. But it's only from now realizing that creativity on its own, from where it originated and from the passions that you have, is the most important part. So remember that business comes secondary to creativity, and your enjoyment of the thing that you love to do is the most important thing. But you're in a position now where you've decided that this is something you want to do, and this is something you want to do and earn money to do. So how do you do that? And there's a lot of videos out there, and there's a lot of people telling you to do X, Y, Z, to get somewhere or to achieve a goal, to start monetizing the thing that you love to do. But often this comes from a person who forgets or doesn't know anything about the creative mind and the creative that's actually trying to now do something and earn money from it. It often comes from a business scope, and it comes from the lens of, I know best, this is what you need to do, follow this and you'll get there. But I think there is an honest way to achieve some sort of success and to achieve a fulfilled life from the thing that you love doing. Through these 3 pillars that I did and I implemented myself, I found success. And it's actually going to be from an honest way. It's not going to be cold calling. It's not going to be DMing. It's not going to be pushing content out there for the sake of pushing content. Because in reality, that didn't really serve me at all. The things that served me were the honest, the grounded, the embodied practices that actually helped me build my business. And through these 3 pillars, I hope I can share something with you that's valuable. So look no further. I think take the stress off your shoulders for growing your business. Try to just calm down a little bit. Know that you're moving in a direction where you want to go to. And this is stuff that I wish I knew 2-3 years ago when I first started. Let's get into the main chunk of this. And sorry if you see me looking down, I've just got my notes chilling here. Pillar 1, taking the leap. Taking the leap is often the hardest part of starting up anything. And it's easier said than done, for sure. And everyone can just say, take the leap, just do it and get it done. But I think there's a lot of stuff in there that causes you to not take the leap. So what does it actually look like? And that comes to part 1. Taking the leap, in my eyes, to starting something off your own back creatively looks like changing the narrative in the way that you speak about something. So for example, if I was a filmmaker or an aspiring filmmaker, I haven't really done much of it yet. In my conversations to people, taking the leap would look like, I am now a filmmaker. And it's really just as simple as that. It is the tiniest little narrative shift in the way that you speak about it that can often act as one of the biggest stepping stones for taking the leap. And when you start to compound that by people asking you all the time, like, what do you do? What are you interested in? I make films. I'm a filmmaker. The way you speak about it is often going to shape you taking that leap and becoming that thing. So in my eyes, if you want to start a creative business and you want to be something, it often starts with taking the leap and changing the narrative in the way that you speak. And then how does taking the leap actually happen? From there, the first actionable steps that I would take if I was taking the leap would be to start up an Instagram page or start up a website or some form of portfolio and give it a name. That could just be your name, but it's a simple step like that that makes a massive change in the direction that you're heading because you've put a name to it, you've put it out into the universe, it's become something. There's a tangible page or portfolio or Instagram page or something similar that allows you to go, this is now what I do, and this is where I'm going to start posting things and start creating that engagement through. Pillar 2, your network. Surprisingly enough, everybody on socials and all these YouTube videos out there at the moment say that you need to be running ads, you need to be pushing out content, you need to be doing this and that to be able to achieve success. I think your network is going to be the most important part in starting anything creative, because at the end of the day, you have a very creative mind, and you might not have that business mind yet, but it's something that you can train. And your network and your friends are going to become the most important part to growing anything. And now I'm going to explain a little bit about how you can do that. So you've just started up your creative business, you've given it a name, you've created an Instagram page, you've created a portfolio, it's time to start rolling. This is where your friends and anybody within your circle comes into play. And they become the most important chess pieces and important jumping steps and to get to the next level. And from there, you need to start having conversations and approaching conversations with your friends and with anyone within your network to say, hey, I'm doing this thing now. Is there any way I can support you with this? For example, if I'm just going to go off my experience as a video editor and videographer, it started off with simple conversations around the gym environment that I was already in. And from there, I had conversations with coaches, I had conversations with people around me and just said, hey, this is what I'm doing now. I also brought my camera wherever I went and said I'd be open to doing any sort of content for you for free, just to build up my portfolio. And from there, it cascaded into a few things and then bigger projects and then bigger projects and bigger projects. So in all honesty, it starts with this. It doesn't start with you creating a million pieces of social media content, posting it out there, doing all those sort of things, trying to run ads, building an offer, building XYZ. To begin with, you need to start mastering your network and mastering what's in front of you and looking directly at that. Don't look at all this outside noise. You look at what's in front of you and you act on that first. Let's paint another picture for you. You're an artist and you've just started drawing or creating art or making paintings, right? Your friends become extremely important because at the end of the day, they will want to support you no matter what. I can guarantee that in some way, shape or form they can. So your art starts to become their art in the beginning and you're sharing it with your friends, sharing it out with the world. And from there, the word travels and the message starts becoming greater and bigger that you are an artist and you are selling your artwork. From there, you start to build a bit of rapport with their friends of friends, and then your network starts to become a little bit bigger. So you become this artist, and from there you can get your testimonials from your friends to say they really enjoyed your art, they've hung it up in their houses, and that's where you start building that social media credibility, and you can start posting a little bit about that. So your network is going to be your first and foremost biggest step in moving forward. And in my experience, my network was the biggest thing that changed everything for me. And it gave me the platform to then grow, and it gave me the platform to then know my worth, to charge. And this is the next pillar. Pillar 3, charging money. Now it's really as simple as going from your network to starting to charge money. So you've worked through pillar 1, you've built your Instagram, you've built your page, you've given it a name, you've changed the narrative, you've started calling yourself what this is, whether it be a filmmaker, XYZ. Now you're in a position to start charging money. You've done all this work, you've built out your network, you've said I'm doing this for free, and now it's time. How do you do this? This is often the most daunting part because you love what you do, but you don't want to charge money for it because you feel like it's something that just brings you so much joy already. But what if that joy could then bring you profit as well and sustain your joy so you can keep doing it? And it starts with using your work in the right way. So all the work that you've done in your network and all the free work that you've done, you're going to start to put that together in a portfolio. Now, this portfolio does not have to be hard. I built mine on Canva. I put all my work on Canva and I listed it as a presentation that I would send off to potential clients. Simple as that. build a portfolio, find the work that you love. If it's art, you can do that on an Instagram page pretty simply. You can just post everything once a week, get a bit of portfolio, get a feed rolling. Whether it's media work, you can start to post that on Canva. That was a really easy way for me to upload videos on there. Or you can build out a website with a portfolio, but don't spend too much time on this. Then it comes down to your belief system. Charging money can often be hard because you might have a belief around it that you struggle to know what you're worth and know how to position yourself in a market that's already got these types of creatives. I believe in a starting rate. Everyone's got to start somewhere. You're going to pick a rate and stick with it. And once you've got enough work to move to the next level, that's when you can start charging a little bit more. So my starting rate was, I believe, $75 an hour at a point in time. So for the project, whatever it was, I would just factor in that $75 an hour and I'd go, all right, it's going to take me this many hours to finish this project. And I would do that. But now I've moved to more of a value proposition. I know how much value I bring to the situation and I know how much value I can offer. And this is where it comes down to now being able to position yourself in a value proposition as opposed to an hourly rate. That's your next important step. Build up from the starting rate, slowly start to increase your prices over a year, and then you'll get to a point where you can offer a value proposition as opposed to an hourly rate. Now, the key to success with this is it is the most honest way to start building something. I don't think you need to dive into ads, dive into building websites, dive into doing all of these crazy things as a creative. You just need to start with changing the narrative, putting a name to it, starting to build out that network, finding clients through your network, not even clients, doing work for your friends, small little things like that. And then from there, start charging a little bit of money from it. You want this to be something that you can grow exponentially and grow over time, not something that comes super, super fast. So if you're an honest creative that wants to make a little bit of money from this and start to turn it into the life that you want to live, then by all means, follow these 3 pillars, know that everything's going to be okay, and just build slowly. See you in the next video.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.